Hello everybody, this is Astocky here and welcome to... I know I said when I did the first episode, which was like a spotlight of this game, that I was going to continue on from there, and I know that when I did the last episode, which I'm calling episode 0, which was basically how to create a world, I thought I was going to continue on from my last one as well. But what I really thought I would do this time is I would start a fresh, brand new world, kind of walk you guys through the kind of world that I have, tell you why I'm making decisions, and then I would get started again, just to kick everything off from scratch, just to really show you guys how this Let's Play is going to go. And I also thought I would tell you that, I'm not planning on showing you 100% of what happens. I'm planning on pausing the recording every now and then, just to speed some things up and make it not take too long. But without further ado, gotta highlight the game. Without further ado, let's create ourselves a world. And as with normal things, I'm going to go with a medium-sized world, because large is just too big. I'm going to go for a short history, very low savagery, and frequent minerals. So that's pretty much the way I create worlds. Each to their own as to how they want to do it, but that's how I like doing it. It seems to work pretty well for me, and it doesn't really take too long. So it's racing through all the different years at the moment. What I'm going to do now is just quickly pause the video, and I'll come back once it's finished creating the world. Back soon. Okay, and we're back. We are right at the end now, saving the world up. Now, something else that I haven't mentioned in the last video, which I thought I would mention in this one, is basically that the way this setup works is when you go to Embark, depending on which is the dwarven settlement that you embark closest to, can depend on which items that you have available, and that'll become relevant in a few seconds when I show you what I intend to do. So this is going to save the world now. Shouldn't take too long. I'll just let it run, because I have decided that rather than just picking the default sort of group of guys that the game decides to give you, I've decided this time I've been watching Zemalf's Dwarf Fortress tutorials, and they're fantastic. I'll put a link to them in the video, but basically what I have decided to do is use the tutorial Embark group that he used, because it worked really well and he had the download available from his website. So I'll put a link to that as well, so you can add it yourself if you want. But the reason I brought up depending on where you start depends on what you can have, because in a few seconds, once I've picked where I wish to embark, I'll actually show you that basically what he has got set up sort of works, but doesn't always work. Yeah, that's good. Let's do that search and see if we get anything. I don't normally put river in the search, but we'll see how we go, see if we can find anywhere. Looking. Seems to have found a couple of places. One of the things I suggest you do in the wiki when you're first starting off is pick all of them to be exactly what you want, generate large worlds, and then just keep generating. Even if you have to generate 10 or 12 different worlds, keep going until you find the perfect starting spot. But turns out I've ended up, browse results, turns out I found somewhere much better than I thought I would. So that is a temperate woodland. It is untamed wilds though, which is not actually all that good. That's wilderness, which is not quite as good either, because untamed wilds often means not so good things are going to happen. What have we got over here? We've got woodland, we've got calm, we've got warm temperature, we've got moderate vegetation, we've got clay, deep soil, shallow metals and deep metals. That is pretty good. And if we come over here, we've got little soil there, we've got no vegetation, so that's not a good place. This one on the other hand is quite a good place, and if we press F1 we'll show the first biome, which is a freshwater marsh, which is kind of okay, and then there we have a temperate shrubland. What I might do is see if I can just move things over. No, I can't. Just trying to maximize. So that's 5 squares of shrubland I would have, and most of the squares of marsh. If I move it up, I've got probably more squares of shrubland, I would say, because that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squares of shrubland, and I've got a bunch of fluxstone now. So I think that's probably going to be the area that I'm going to want to go with. I just know now that I have to make sure that I look around the north and around the east to try and get the fluxstone that I'm going to want. So let's go with that and press E. You only get one warning. So now generally you would have Mayday Custom, the Lazy Noob Pack, and the 2 DF Vid shoots as the things that are your, I guess, your starting things. I have added Zemalf's shoot, and I think this is a pretty cool one. So I'm going to press enter, and that's going to prepare me to embark. So now you can see here there are a number of things that aren't available, and that's because in the particular area that I'm in, these things aren't available. So I'm going to pause the video for a second and take a quick note of the stuff that's not available, because those are basically the things I'm going to have to add back in once I get going. So I will be back in just a moment. Okay, so I'm back again. I have basically written it all down. So when I press escape now, you can see that I have each of my different peasant people, and they're all marked as peasants. Now that's not ideal, but that guy is a proficient mechanic, and we can kind of page down and you can see that he is also a novice persuader, a novice negotiator, a novice judge of intent, and an adequate appraiser. So they all say peasant, but they're not actually peasant. It's just I don't know whether it's a bug in the way that it's put the people's names down, but either way, that's not going to be a problem for that. That's going to work. And you can see I have 49 points left, and the reason for that is we come over here. You know, we've got all our different animals already. We've got a different poultry that we want. When we come over here though, we are missing a bunch of different items. So what I'm going to have to do now is try and add in something that is the equivalent to those items. Now, I need to find sand. So what I can do is just type in. So you can see here there are no more different kinds of sand that are available. So if I come over here and kind of page up a bit, you should somewhere in here we go, we've got sand, yellow sand, black sand, and red sand. What I'm missing was white sand, but that's not a problem. I'm just going to add one more unit of sand. Now the next thing I'm missing is kangaroo milk and camel milk. So again I'm going to press N, type MILK, and see, there we go, we have 1 hump camel milk. So I'm going to add a unit of that, and I'm still 1 unit of milk short. So once again, type new, type milk. There is nothing in there now, so that means I've got to go to one of my other milks and add another unit of it. I'm just going to add another unit of 1 hump camel milk, because I don't think that it really matters what kind of milk you're talking about. Whatever it is though, I've added some 1 hump camel milk. Now the next thing that I have to add, and this is something that I don't think I'm going to be able to just easily do, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 more kinds of meat. So if we go into here and we type meat, we can come over here, and I'm going to just start adding in different kinds of meat that only cost 2, because why add something that's more expensive when you don't have to? So there we have 1, 2, and you get the idea. So I'm going to be back once I have finished adding the rest of the meat into my storage. Back soon. Okay, so I've only been able to add 17 different kinds of new meat. So I'm just going to go in, and something that doesn't sound too bad, there we go, yak meat. I'm going to add 1 more of those. Now you might wonder why I added 18 different kinds of meat instead of just adding basically 18 units of one meat, and the reason for that is dwarves are quite picky, so they are happier if you're giving them lots of different kinds of things. So if they eat some kind of meat one day and then eat the same kind of meat the next day, they're not as happy as if they had have eaten a different kind of meat. So by having basically one of everything, that really helps to balance out their diet and make them, I guess, a lot happier. And so it's for the same reason as that when you come up to the top up here, there are lots of different kinds of seeds of every kind, so that once I start farming, I'm going to put all these different kinds of seeds in to get lots of different kinds of foods and lots of different kinds of varieties and things like that. So that's basically how that's set up, and you can see that I've got 10 points left, and the reason for that is fish. There are now 4 different kinds of fish that are missing, so I'm going to go in here. So I was supposed to have a cavefish, a lungfish, a lobster and a turtle. Now for some reason those didn't work, so I'm going to add this cavefish here, that cavefish there, whoops, that lobster there, and for some reason turtles don't come up. I find that to be odd. Whoops, wrong key. So I thought it would have been under fish. Because turtles are very, very important, because turtles have a hard shell on them, and the turtle shells are quite good. So that could be a real problem for me later. I guess for now I'll just add another cave lobster, but ideally I would have been able to add something different. And the next thing that I've just worked out is that I still have 2 points left, which means I can add something else, because obviously the turtle is probably worth more points than something else that I have there. So I'm going to add another barrel of dwarven wine. Sounds good to me. So here we go, we're now going to press E to embark, and then we're going to check out our world. Okay, so once again pressing tab twice to basically bring up the world map. I'm now going to zoom out so I can see what there is to see. So there is a whole lot of stuff there. It's quite a steep looking mountain off to the sort of the right hand side, but the area that I'm on is fairly flat, so that's probably a good thing. So what I'm going to do is I'll zoom myself back in, at least I'll try to, assuming the mouse plays the game for me. Press F1 to jump back to where my wagon is. This is also probably not a bad thing, because I've started with a couple of small water sources near me, and I've also started right next to this area just here. So well, as with every game, I'm going to start by designating some chop down trees. Now I believe you can actually use the mouse to do this. Yeah, so I'm dragging now and kind of designating an area, but I don't want to do that, so I'm going to designate, undesignate, whoops, undesignate, come on, undesignate those trees. And I'm going to do it the manual way because I don't like their way. So T for chop down trees. Actually, you know what? Let's not do that area. Let's do this whole thing just to make sure I don't miss any trees. Chop down trees, we'll go over this way. And we'll go down this way. And that should be good. Then the next thing I'll do is I will gather plants. And I will do that in the same area. So now that should be lots of plants that I gather, and also lots of trees that I chop down. And now that I've done that, I'm going to set up a new zone just here, which is going to cover all of that area, under that area there, and I'm going to set that up to be a water source, which is excellent. Now if I press U for units, you can see that I have a stray horse, a stray yak bull, whole lot of turkeys, some cats, 2 dogs and a hunting dog. So you can see that I have this dog here. If I press V for view creature, it tells you a little bit about it. He isn't very muscular. Go to this one, view creature. She is enormous yet very weak. The thing is though, I have a male dog and a female dog, so I can breed them. I also have a female hunting dog, and these things are excellent. And I have a bunch of cats. I don't really know why Zemalf decided that he wanted cats. I think it's because by having cats that can be pets for the dwarves. That's the only reason I can think of why you would want to do it, because dogs, you can breed them and then you can train the offspring if they've got the right kind of setup. You can train the offspring to be more hunting dogs, and hunting dogs are fantastic. They can act as excellent scouts for you. If you get the occasional wild animal that tries to stray near your base, you can use them to basically chase it away or to fight with it. But cats, I'm not so sure about. I think they're just for pets. Pets can be really important because if your dwarves get unhappy, bad things can happen. But enough talking for now. Let's get with the building. So I'm going to go from here, set up that area just there. Oops, that wasn't meant to be animal. That was meant to be a wood stockpile. Hopefully that still works. Let's check. Change settings. No, wrong one. So disable that and enable wood. That's now a wood stockpile. Not what I meant to do. Again, I'm probably going to leave it like that, but again, not what I meant to do. What I meant to do was I wanted to go to I. Where's my little cursor? Start there. Whoops. And set that up and have this as being a pen, because I basically want to set the pen pasture information, and I don't want my dogs to be there. I want my horse and my bull to both sit there just out the front of my base and just do their thing. So now that I have done that, I've got people gathering plants. I've got people who will be, as the plants are gathered and as the wood is chopped down, hauling it to put it in the little area that I have allocated just there. In actual fact, I probably won't do that just yet. I'm going to start to designate, and then I'm going to hopefully I can just mine straight in with this, but we'll see how we go. Hopefully that will work, and I might just say remove stairs and ramps on these first couple, just so that he knows he's got to do that. While I'm at it, I will just remove those two as well, and I'll also mine out that entranceway there. Eventually this is going to be a 3x3 entranceway, but for now I think I'm just going to leave it a little bit smaller, and a bunch of these ramps and things will end up annoying me anyway. So let's just dig a few more of them out as well. Actually, let's just go to here and go to here and get rid of all of them. So spacebar now to start the game going. Actually, one more thing I want to check out first. Others. We've got an opossum, I think that is. Let's view the creature and see what it says. Gigantic and fat, her hair is grey, her skin is dark. A small mammal resembling a large white rat. And a sea lamprey. A small oceanic eel-like creature that latches on the side of its victim and tears into them. Very fat and enormous. That does not sound good. It's blue, which means it's in the water. But let's press C to find out where it is. It is in that rivery looking area just there. So the question I have now is, where is that in relation to my base? Okay, that's at the river, and I believe, yeah, so he's down here and my base is up here, so he is a long way away from me, which should mean that I don't have any problems. So let's unpause the game and let's get going. So hopefully my miner is going to do his awesome mining. You can see he's not actually started mining yet. He's still digging out ramps and things. So let's just quickly pause the game and just check out what I'm mining into. So this is all currently clay. Don't know what I'm going to do with all that clay, but lots and lots of clay. Nope. I'm going to designate some more area for him to mine now. So I'm going to designate off to the side here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. A little 5x5 area, and that can be the meeting area. And then off this little 5x5 area, okay, perfect. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to do an 11x11, and that's going to be my storage room. So that's going to be enough now for him to dig out, just to get him going. And like I said, while he's doing that, you can see that my wood stockpile is filling up quite quickly, as my woodcutter is just being awesome, and people are hauling away all the wood that he gets. Okay, so he's now successfully dug out the first room, and so what I'm going to do now is press I and then designate a new zone in here, and this is going to be M, the meeting area. And basically what that means now is any animal that's not pastured and any dwarf that's not currently doing something will end up basically going into there so that they're out of harm's way, or at least that's the plan. So, but like I said, I don't intend for them to stay there for very long. I intend for my miner to mine this whole area out and be useful. So he's just kind of randomly mining things, but while he's doing that, I'm going to start in this corner here and go up to that point there. I'm going to go T for custom stockpile. I'm going to say put absolutely everything that is good in there. So no wood, because we have a wood stockpile at the front. No stone, because it takes them forever to move stone around. No corpses and no refuse, because both of those are things that we don't want to have inside of our base. So what should happen now when I unpause things? Oh crud, I forgot to actually create that stockpile. Let's try again. T for custom. It's all still set up. Press enter. Press enter again, so you can see that it's currently only highlighted the areas that the miner has already dug out. That's not a big deal, because I've only got one wagon full of stuff, so it shouldn't take too long to basically move all of those things in. And you can see now I've gone from having 4 idle dwarfs to 0, as they're just going to carry everything and chuck it in there. So now the next thing that I'm going to do, in preparation for the fact that I'm eventually going to build a barracks here, is I'm going to mine out a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide room that is 11 long, and go bang and put that there. And then I'm going to open up a 2 wide entrance at the start of it. Now my miner is occasionally mining and occasionally hauling. I'm not super worried what he chooses to do. Miners just do their own thing, they're just kind of crazy, so I'll just let him go and see what he does. No, he's hauling too much stuff. Him hauling things is really annoying, so I'm going to pause the game. Going to open up something that I should have opened up earlier, which is the Splinter Mine attribute, I guess, offshoot of the standard Dwarf Therapist. And I'm going to go to Dodoc, who is my miner, and just read the dwarves to make sure that it's got that correct. Yep, Dodoc, who is my miner. I'm going to say, quit hauling, you bum. Done. So he should no longer be hauling, and he should be doing nothing but mining. So you can see, hold on, if I pause the game now, if I go K, you can see I have already got a carcass in here. Now when that starts to rot, that is going to cause me a lot of issues. So for short term, I'm going to come just around the corner here, and I'm going to create myself a new pea stockpile. Here's going to be another custom stockpile, and it is going to be, don't want any of this stuff. I want it to be corpses and refuse. And then I'm going to go put that between here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. That little square area just there is going to be my refuse point for all of my corpses. And I think the reason cats might be in here, now that I think about it, is that rat would have just been killed by one of these cats. So I don't know how well the game tracks that, but it could be that if that rat had got in there, it might have eaten some of my stores or done something that I really didn't like. But either way, we're going to create a new custom stockpile now. I'm going to go take all those things out. Then we're going to go back and re-enable all of the things that we want. In fact, we don't want gems. So that was my bad for putting that in the last one when I shouldn't have. And then put that there to fill the rest of the stockpile in. So you can see again, once he starts digging the area out, I'm going to have to remake the stockpile. But that shouldn't be a big issue. Oh, he hasn't quite finished. Either way, I want to have lots of area so there is plenty of room for them to bring all the stuff in from my wagon. You can see there's already quite a lot of wood there. My woodcutter is going out and cutting down trees. And it looks like he's hauling the wood back himself. What a good little woodcutter. Got my cats looking around. I will just quickly check the world out. There is still one sea lamprey, but there are now 2 opossums, if that's what they're called. So we have some rough hewn stone, which is cool. Now my miner is, come on, just finish one job at a time, you crazy man. What is that miner doing? The miner has currently got no job. Okay, so in that case, what I'm going to do is go back to my stockpile and just fix this up, because I don't know if I have got it correct. So T custom stockpile, that's all perfect. So let's see, let's make one of them and put the whole thing there. That is next to perfect. Now that I have the basic start of my fortress, I'm going to just really quickly set him up to do the next thing that I want to build, which is going to be starting here. I want to do a 3 wide hallway that basically runs the whole length of it. So start mining, miner dude. You're quite random, aren't you? Oh, I've got my first piece of stone dropped. And basically the reason I'm doing this little offshoot this way is that's going to be the sort of the branch hallway that's going to lead to most of my, basically most of my fortress. Oh, we've got another piece of stone there. This is all good stuff. So you can see they're carrying lots of barrels and lots of other different things like that in. Wow, that wagon must have been chock full. You can see that down in the bottom corner here, they have now put that little rat corpse in the place where it should be. Look at those happy little dwarves doing their thing. So I believe my miner now once again will have no job to do, so I'll just pause the video and check him out. He's gone for a drink. Okay, that's not too bad. The next thing that I want to do with him is I want to build out a quick area for my first workshops. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an area here that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide. And then I'm going to open up pretty much the whole front of it. And then I'm going to undesignate that point just there. So that's going to give me, yeah, that's going to give me just the right size opening. And then I can start to build things like a craft dwarf workshop and some other things like that. So this is going to be good. We're starting to get there now. So he's still going along, still grabbing lots of different stuff. We can press Z for status and go to stocks and have a look at how much we've got. Got around about 50 meat still, 4 fish, quite a few plants, bunch of drinks, plenty of liquid, lots of seeds. So we're really not doing too badly. Sometimes wish this miner was just a tad faster. Hoping that that stone on the floor isn't going to cause a problem for him. I don't know, let's try. Let's go build, workshop, carpenter's workshop. Let's see if we can put it there. No, we cannot, because it is blocked. I think that's 2 pieces of solid stone there in the center. So guess we're just stuck with waiting for a while longer. Oh, unpause. The advantage, of course, of getting the miner to do lots of mine activities like this, even though they're menial, is he's now already up to a level miner. So he's definitely becoming more and more proficient as he does it. Now I believe we should be good. Build, workshop, carpenter's workshop. Perfect. So we can place that there. We can build it out of whatever we want. I'm going to build it out of andesite, because that's the rock that I have just sitting there in the room with me. I only need 1 piece and I've got 10, I believe. So I'll just press enter. And that is going to start the building process that I need. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go P to create a small stockpile. It's going to be a wood stockpile, and it is going to sit in the 3x3 area directly in front of my carpenter. And then I'm going to go Q, go to that stockpile, and I'm going to say T to take from a pile or workshop, and I'm going to say take from wood stockpile number 1. That means this will constantly be kept stocked with wood from this stockpile here, and basically whenever this is full they will still continue to use this wood stockpile. So that's basically set up. All it says that I need is someone with a carpentry skill to come in and build it for me. So I know I have a guy who's that's what he is, which is this guy here. He's currently storing an item in the stockpile, but as soon as he's finished with that, he's hopefully going to come in and build for me. Hopefully going to come in and build for me. Okay, there we go. So if we go Q now and move over to it, we can see that the construction has been initiated. If we go Q again, we can see that the construction is nearly done. and now we have a finished construction. So now I'm going to add, and I'm going to do a bed. 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to do 7 beds, and the reason why I'm going to do 7 beds is because I currently have 7 dwarves. So 7 dwarves, I need 7 beds. The question though that you might ask is, where am I going to put the beds? So to help out with that, I am going to build a very temporary dormitory. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go dig and start just here. And then I'm going to do a 4 by 3 room, which is going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beds in it. So let's make it a bit longer so I can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 beds. So it's going to take him a little while to make all of those beds, but basically once he's finished with those beds I can place them, and then the dwarves will have somewhere to sleep. It's not going to be a really flash dormitory, it's going to be pretty basic, but you know, a dwarf needs somewhere to sleep. And I believe, no, he has not yet finished that bed. So now I guess we just got to wait. Ah, there we go, we now have a bed. So build a bed and build it there. 1 oak bed. Beautiful. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to build, hopefully I can do this, building workshop. It's a mason's workshop, little m. I'm going to build that just there as well. And once again build that out of andesite. And then hopefully, with not too much time, someone will come and they will build that. Believe now that means it's finished. Yes, it has. So I can add some new tasks, and there are now lots of different things that I can build, and none of which I really need to build right now. But I do need to set maybe it was Q. Yep, that was not the right one. Nope, Q. I'm going to make it a bedroom. It's an awkward sort of size. I definitely couldn't do it with I, could I? No. Well, looks like I'm going to have to build it. Wait, no, got another bed there. Perfect. Build another bed. Place that bed just there. And now, hopefully, once someone places that bed, I'll be able to build the bedroom around that. Okay, so now let's try this again. Let's go Q, make it into a bedroom. Excellent. Enter done. Dormitory D, yes. Not a barracks. So now, anytime someone needs to sleep, they will feel free to come into this area and sleep, which is exactly what we want them to do. And as you can see there, every time I'm using up one of those pieces, someone is coming and they're taking it and they're doing something with it. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to build, and I want to build myself another workshop. This time I want to build myself a mechanics workshop, which is T, and I'm going to put it just at the base here, and then I'm going to go enter. What can I make that out of? I'm going to make it out once again out of andesite, because I have a fair bit of that stone. I'm then going to go for P to make a stockpile, I'm going to say in that area there I want a stone stockpile. It's not going to hold very much stone, but hopefully it should get some of the stone out of some of the other places and get it right here where my mechanic is going to need it. Hopefully. That's the way the plan is. So it needs a mechanic. I have a mechanic. What is he doing? I believe this guy here is my mechanic. But he's storing stuff. Oh, we got another bed. Build bed. Build. Build. So that's 6 beds. So there should be another 2 coming, I think. But I guess we'll just have to see how we go with that. Oh. Got a couple of different things here now. I want to see what they are. So I've got andesite, I've got limestone, and I've got microcline. I have no idea what any of these things are. This is all so new to me. What kind of stuff is this? Oops. K is what I meant to hit. No, K. Silty clay loam. This area here is clay sort of stuff again. I think I want to get my farmer going here. So now let's now dig out a room. Oops. D, mine, go from here to here, up to here. Perfect. Perfect. Open up a nice central sort of walkway that's going to go into that, and once that's been dug out, hopefully I should be able to get myself a farmer type area. Now let's go back to Z for status and we'll have a look at our stocks. So I've gone through a fair bit of my meat already. Haven't really gone through any of my plants yet, but what is obvious to me is that I don't have enough food. So the next thing that I'm going to build, once I get one more block dug out of this area, is I'm going to build a kitchen so that I can start preparing some meals out of some of my food. And then I think I'm probably going to call an end of this video because I've been going for a little bit longer than I wanted to. But I mean, I do want to get that farm going, but I think I'm probably going to have to wait till tomorrow now to get that farm started. My dwarf is thirsty, so he's going to go grab some booze. You can see there now my dormitory is being used. Quite a few of my people actually using the dormitory. Let's build a bed. Hopefully there's someone who's actually nope. I was going to say hopefully there's someone who's awake who can actually build that bed. My woodcutter's eating. There we go. Build the bed. All my dudes are so sleepy. Well, I guess if they're having a bit of a break, if they're having a snooze, I think it's probably time for me to go. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've been enjoying this. Stay tuned for, I'm really going to try to get the next episode out tomorrow, where I'm going to get my farms built, I'm going to get my kitchen going, I'm going to get my brewery going, so that we can start getting ourselves some stocks of renewable food, renewable drink, and I guess renewable things to make into food. So again, thank you for watching.